Now, if you were to name maybe one of your prized toys, I'm assuming you might have saved a toy from growing up.
Yes,
what
there's
is
no
that
question.
toy?
That'd be my G.I. Joe.
You still have your G.I. Joe?
I still have and he has a little beard.
And
it's the beard. It was the G.I. Joe with a beard. Looks kind of like our engineer Seth Bindra.
Where is that G.I. Joe right now?
In a box in the storage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like your childhood memories box.
I just put it away for a while. So I'll show it to my kids, and they're like, yeah, whatever. Is there a video component to that?
Oh, by the way, who are you?
I'm Eric Stromer.
And I'm Cindy Dole, and you're listening to Home Wizards. And this occurred to me that whether you are a young kid at heart, or you have kids who have toys that maybe they've grown out of, why not repurpose those toys into some really cool and kitschy decor?
That's a really good idea. And
Like?
I'll tell you why that's a good idea, because every time I'm about to throw something out from when my kids were 5 years old
You
or
feel
whatever.
sad.
Well, not only do I feel sad, they get kind of panicky and nuts, and that prevents me from decluttering
I know.
the areas that they're sitting in. So this is a really good idea.
So here's what I want you to do with that G.I. Joe. It becomes a really cute bookshelf.
Okay, what are you talking about?
So,
what do you mean? How can that be? What are you doing?
So the idea is, well, we would make a bookshelf. How would we do a basic bookshelf?
So you would, if you were going to do in the wall, you would fasten L brackets into the wall and then have just either a piece of wood or a pre-existing shelf that you buy and put it right on top of it.
Well, the idea is now you have a hacksaw.
Yeah.
Tell us about the beauty of the hacksaw.
Well, you can cut anything you want.
You can make a nice kind of you want like a jigsaw? Too?
Yeah, you could do that too, sure.
Okay. So the idea is you want to create a little nice circle to then allow your guy, your G.I. Joe.
Oh, so you're going to drill. Oh, I see what you're saying.
We're going to plunge that guy.
You're going to plunge him through. You're going to drill a hole through the shelf. You're going to put his feet through, and then his arm is going to be positioned to hold books up on one side.
He's holding books up because he's a superhero.
Yeah, he is.
So see, it could be anything. It could be Thor.
And then his legs are coming down on the bottom to hold the other set of books.
Like he's just doing some, fancy military operation.
That's great. And then he's still there, but he's useful. He's serving a function. Because, sometimes you'll position them in a seated position, and they don't have enough weight to hold books up.
And see, this is vintage, it's kitschy, and I want you to do this because, it's, it's part of your childhood.
Yeah.
And now it's serving a purpose. It's not just sitting in your storage.
So for that, all you need is a hole saw that you can attach to your drill, and then that is essentially a big circle the size of the waist of your G.I. Joe or your Barbie or whatever fig you want to use. You put the Barbie or the G.I. Joe through that hole like he's fallen through some sort of a little pothole. And then the torso holds the upper books, and his feet coming through the bottom hold the lower books, and then you have basically a book, a holder.
Yeah,
Cute.
Or if you didn't want to do the full-blown shelf, let's say that you just had a little area on your desk, maybe you could glue your guy or your gal to some bookends.
Sure,
to a bookend, and then it still looks like they're holding their hand out, and it's part of the bookend.
That'd be really cute in anybody's office who loves the toy.
Yeah. Who didn't grow up with Legos?
Man, did I love those.
So this is something that's really simple.
By the way, have you been to Legoland ever? It's a
haven't.
great place. Talk about cool. Anyway, go ahead.
So the Legos can now become your charging station for all of your mobile devices. And it becomes, again, kind of retro, it's a fun way to either celebrate your kids' toys and your memories or your own personal childhood memories, right?
Yeah.
But the idea is you just, maybe you did go to Legoland and it kind of reminded you of all this stuff. But the idea is you use a Lego base plate, and then you kind of combine the different bricks that you have, and you connect it with some various tools, and then you basically create an area that now will be the ultimate charging station, right?
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. And it's going to give you not only a creative area to hold, let's say, your keychains, but also a way to charge your phone and all that. It becomes a way to disguise all of those cords.
Okay.
So we can hide them in the back, right?
Sounds like somebody should manufacture that as a standalone.
Isn't that cute?
Thing. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Also, have you seen people who will glue Legos onto countertops and you use the side of them?
Oh.
And you glue that down onto like a block of counter. If it were like an old linoleum counter, you can assemble Lego, right, and then just go ahead and glue that down to the top of a countertop so that it's a smooth plastic edge facing
like
up.
a little station, like to put a hot Well, I don't know if you could put hot
Cool.
pot.
Yeah, well, you'd probably melt the Lego, but it looks cool. If it's just a countertop that you want kitschy looking,
very clever.
You can kind of do it.
And
that
I've
way.
seen that also used to, you glue it all together to make like a utensil holder,
That's
a vertical thing.
That's exactly right. Yeah. You know what else too? What about the old wagons? Now we've seen this a little more often than not, but you can turn a wagon into a great planting device where you can drill a couple of drainage holes into that metal. Whenever you're drilling into metal, obviously you want to use safety glasses so that the metal shards don't go up into your eyes. But you drill a couple of drainage holes, put some potting soil in that, and then go ahead and plant your plants in. And the good news with this, it's movable. So if the light isn't exactly right,
and the plants aren't happy,
and they're not happy, and you don't have to pick up a big old heavy pot, which can be kind of heavy sometimes.
Yeah, not that.
You can just wheel it to the next location and move it around that way. That can also be, by the way, a great thing if you want to use a mobile device to chill your beverages.
Oh, party on wheels.
There you go.
If you had a Slinky growing up, remember the good old Slinky? Well, this doesn't require any work at all. No tools required. If you still have that Slinky sitting around, it's the perfect desk organizer. So all you do is just make sure that Slinky is connected all the way around, like a circular fan.
Oh, so you join it into, you join it together.
And that's
it. So it's a circle, right?
A complete circle, but now you've got a way to put, like, say, your bills, envelopes.
Oh, that's kind of good.
Stamps. It just becomes this great way to vertically stash, little thin things.
That's
especially
very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else do you like?
Well, you can make, if you have some old blocks, it's a really great way to create almost like a crate. And if you have those old wood blocks, maybe some childhood blocks, not only crate, but you can make a wood block clock. And the idea is to determine, the position of the blocks before opening up the clock itself. And you buy some of those clock battery operated systems at like Michael's and some of the crafts. So that's all you do. But then you use the blocks themselves as the backdrop for the clock.
Oh, that's good. You know what else is cool too? Creating handles, pulls for your cabinetry or your drawers, where you can take some of these old little wooden train cars.
Cute.
And then you can either attach them with glue. But if you do that, it's simple. I would glue it, but I'd also screw it from the other direction, right?
Uh-huh.
So you're going to want to pre-drill through the back of the drawer, or you can just use the existing hole that's there for the knob, right? And then you can pre-drill the little toy and then hold it up to that hole and come from the backside into the toy so that you don't see the screws on the front of the toy at all, and then you won't crack them, right? Because if you try and screw into those directly, they're so small that they might split. So you do have to pre-drill, but it looks so cute, like little train cars as handles in a desk drawer.
Very
right?
kitschy, very clever,
Yes.
very fun. Again, a way to celebrate your youth and childhood, or your grown-up kids at the same time.
Yeah.
How about using, maybe you had old little plastic or new dinosaurs and other play animals. I know that Willow has, is it a pony that you have that's outside on a bridge? Is it a pony?
That's a little pony,
okay.
yeah.
So let's say you can now turn that into a planter. You get one of those teeny tiny succulents, and you can cut a little hole or somehow maybe use that as a figurine in a terrarium.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And again, it's being repurposed. It's kitschy. It's fun.
That's it. Why not? You know what else is cool, too? If you want to create a hanging area for your keys, again, it's the plates of the Lego which are really critical for this stuff. You can just kind of glue those onto the drywall and then put a little ring through the front of the Lego that's sticking out, and then the key dangles. That can be kind of a special little place for the house key so nobody forgets.
Very good idea.
Yeah.
If you have your old Barbie dolls, now this is something that's a little kind of, you have to be open-minded because you're basically going to repurpose Barbie's legs. Okay? And the idea is, it's kind of clever and it's also kind of crazy. But the idea is you're going to turn them into funky spoons. the Barbie legs.
Barbie leg spoons.
The Barbie leg spoons.
They're the ends of the spoon.
They're the ends of the spoon.
Oh, that's great.
So we'll put this on the website so you can see that. All these fun ideas of using your childhood toys as art. Eric Stormer, Cindy Dole, you're listening to Home Wizards.